Test, test, test. Test, test, test.
GA won't wait.com. That's GA won't.
Testing, testing, mic check, mic check.
Hi, this is Susan. I'm excited to let you know that Lake Mountain Coffee is now available for private events. Our beautiful historic building with its 360-degree mezzanine has hosted many private parties, catered diners, and even an actual wedding. Please contact Andy at 704-252-1886 for more information. Thank you so much.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Still a 30% chance of showers as you head through your evening. Other than that, mostly cloudy skies with a low temperature overnight around 46 degrees. Saturday should be a much nicer day. We're looking at sunny skies and your high temperature will get up near 70 degrees. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
All right, we are live on location here on the Scoreboard, WSIC. We're hoping everything's running smoothly over here. This is a first time for us. We are out here at South Iredell High School as the Vikings take on the Lake Norman Wildcats. It should be an awesome Friday night out here. It's beautiful weather. It was raining earlier. I got kind of wet setting this whole thing up, but it turned out to be a beautiful night. A little bit of sunshine as the sun still sets. It should be pretty clear for the rest of the day. It's going to be interesting at the beginning of this game. You're probably going to see the sun be a factor as it begins to set underneath the trees. But like I said, South Iredell Vikings taking on the Lake Norman Wildcats. It is senior night here at South Iredell High School. They just went through the ceremonies over there. So a fun day. A lot of these seniors, not many games left in their careers as high school athletes. Only a couple of games left for South Iredell, and they don't have the best record right now. So playoffs not really looking like it's something in their future. Warm-ups are getting underway under here still as the PA blasts behind me, and this is the end that Lake Norman is warming up on. So as you look into the background, hopefully the picture is good enough if you are listening or watching on YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and our website, WSICnews.com. Let me get to the housekeeping. I completely skipped that. This is the Scoreboard with me, Joe Berg, here on WSIC 105.9, 100.7 FM. You can't call in today, unfortunately. If you want to, I'd love to speak to you, but I just have no way of answering a cell phone over here to get you on the air and joining me today. So it's just going to be me for today. We'll rock it out on this wonderful Friday night football. Lots of other games going on in the area, but we are going to talk about this specific game, South Iredell versus Lake Norman. Lake Norman comes into this one undefeated still, 8-0 on the year, and they have had one heck of a season. Plenty of players over there having great years. As we read off some of the stats here for Lake Norman, they have 6 passing touchdowns on the year, but the running game is really where it's at. 15 total touchdowns on the year for Lake Norman. That running game is lethal, and they've been riding that all the way through the entire season here. It's 8-0 still, a couple games left on the year for Lake Norman. Maybe they'll be playing Mooresville with an undefeated record next week. We'll see, and maybe we'll see what game we can preview and highlight next week. But as we look on the other end of the spectrum here at South Iredell, they have had a really tough season. They started out okay, going 2-2 in their first 4 games, but since they got into conference play, they have lost 4 consecutive games, and that has really put them in a hole as far as the standings in conference and out of conference, just kind of general within their division. So South Iredell really just trying to play underdog here, spoiler, if you will, and get another win on the year. I know those seniors who were just recognized a few minutes before we went live over here, I'm sure they would love to get a win in one of their last 2 games of the season. In South Iredell, their next game is going to be away, so this is the final home game for those seniors. They take on Cox Mill and Concord next weekend. Lots of other high school games going on in the area. It's a wonderful Friday. The weather turned out to be beautiful today, so I am pretty happy with what we see over here. I don't see any reason why the field is going to be a problem, although it did rain quite a bit about an hour or so ago. The field looked like it drains pretty well over here, so hopefully it won't be too sloppy of a game. And as you can see behind me, warm-up still getting underway, teams getting to their respective sidelines, and we'll see what gets going here later. We got about 19 minutes before kickoff, so we will be talking through the first little bit of this game. It's going to be an awesome little spot to be here as we're in the end zone right next to the scoreboard, and we were hoping to hear from a coach or a player over at South Iredell. Unfortunately, it does not seem like that's something that we are going to be able to do today. But, you know, it's a busy scene over here. You got teams warming up. You got 18 minutes now until game time. So hopefully maybe somebody will stop by, say hi to the old radio guy kind of sitting at the end of the end zone, and we can get a player or a coach before the game starts. I'm excited for this. We're going to be broadcasting, like I said, through the first little bit of this game. I'm not going to try to do play-by-play, so don't worry. It's not going to be that bad. We're going to do our normal thing over here. So before the game starts, let's talk about what's going on in the rest of the sports world. We had baseball last night. The Astros tied the series against the Texas Rangers, and we have a game going on right now in that series. The Astros jumped out to an early 1-0 lead in the first inning, so the Rangers find themselves down 1-0 after dropping 2 in a row. The interesting thing about that series is there hasn't been a home team to win a game yet. Every game so far in that specific series has been an away team victory. Not often you see that, and it's going to be weird as a baseball with the 2-3-2 format. If we see another road win by the Astros, they'll have 2 chances at home to clinch the series and head to another World Series. They just can't stop winning. And I know a lot of the rest of the sports world and baseball world is looking forward to when they can stop winning because of everything that happened in the past. I know there's still a sour taste in some sports fans' mouths regarding the cheating scandal. And speaking of cheating, there's a college football scandal with Michigan going on right now. Pretty much the same thing as what we saw in baseball with the sign stealing using electronics. Now, you can steal signs. There's no problem with that. But once you get into using technology to steal those signs, it becomes an issue. So we'll talk a little bit about that if we have time. Michigan under investigation. Also in the MLB, I want to make sure we get to this before we head to our first break of the day. The Phillies yesterday did end up losing. So that series is now at 2-1. Diamondbacks walk it off in the bottom of the ninth. Ketel Marte was the hero in that game, walking it off with a single in the bottom of the ninth inning. So that series is now a series again. Had the Phillies won that game, you're up 3-0. And, man, it is really tough to come back from a 3-0 deficit. We're heading to our first break of the day. You can hear the PA behind me, maybe. They got some music going, warm-ups underway. We're going to take our first break of the show. We'll be right back here live at South Iredell as the Vikings take on the Lake Norman Wildcats. Stay with me here. We'll be back in a minute.
Keep it right here. There's more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg on the way from the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Want to enjoy a night of magic? Eric Jones, a worldwide award-winning magician, is coming to Kane Center for the Arts Saturday, October 28th. Buy your tickets before they sell out. kanearts.org. Eric Jones, the magician, Saturday, October 28th. kanearts.org. Carolina Balloon Fest is this weekend. Day passes to watch the event start at $15. Want to take off in a hot air balloon from Statesville? You can book your ride today. For more info, including ride pricing, visit carolinaballoonfest.com. The Carolina Balloon Fest, this weekend near Statesville Regional Airport. carolinaballoonfest.com. Pumpkin picking at Kerrigan Farms. Experience the pumpkin patch at Kerrigan Farms by booking your experience now at kerriganfarms.com. kerriganfarms.com for a pumpkin picking adventure. Santa's coming to town. Schedule your time to take pictures of Santa at Birkdale Village. Spots are limited and must be scheduled in advance. Santa will be at Birkdale between November 19th and Christmas Eve. Appointments include time with Santa and 8 digital images from a professional photographer. For more info and to schedule your time with Santa, visit birkdalevillage.com. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
The Renaissance Festival is back! Saturdays and Sundays now through November 19th. A non-stop outdoor family adventure! Huzzah! Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Still a 30% chance of showers as you head through your evening. Other than that, mostly cloudy skies with a low temperature overnight around 46 degrees. Saturday should be a much nicer day. We're looking at sunny skies and your high temperature will get up near 70 degrees. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
It's back, and it's better than ever. The WSIC Community Yard Sale. Sell your stuff October 28th as we bring back the legendary Community Yard Sale. Visit WSICnews.com/yard sale. Get your spot today.
Hi folks, Pat Shannon inviting you to join me for the Home Ad Show. We help you sell things, buy things, celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, and have a lot of fun in the process. Weekday mornings from 9 to 11 here on News Talk WSIC.
It's the Scoreboard with your host, Sports Director Joe Berg, on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
And welcome back to the Scoreboard here on WSIC 105.9 100.7 FM. Streaming the video live to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, not Instagram, and our website, WSICnews.com. I will say we did get caught in a little bit of a weird spot here as the color guard is out there presenting the colors. We may have to go silent here. I don't want to talk through a moment of silence. That just doesn't seem very right. So we're going to take a moment of silence here as this starts, and we'll be right back.
Standing for the Marine Corps hymn.
All right, and we are back. I didn't want to talk during that. It just didn't seem like the right thing to do as the anthem was playing there in the background. It was a very, very solid anthem. So this game is about to get underway here. We're going to, like I said, we're going to talk through the first little bit of this game. I'm not going to do play-by-play because that is just not going to happen today. I am not in the spot to do that. And we're going to be off the air before the game even finishes anyway. So we got about 8 minutes before the game is scheduled to start at 6:30. should be a good one. Like I said, let's continue talking about other things going on in the world of sports before we get into the beginning of this game. Over the weekend, we are going to have football. We're going to have Charlotte FC on Saturday. So make sure you're paying attention because Charlotte FC has a chance to make the playoffs. They just need to win, and they do need a little bit of help. Otherwise, they're going to miss. And it all goes back to those points that they have been dropping at the end of games. It's been a tough end of the season. Ever since Leagues Cup, Charlotte FC has had a tough time holding on to points and finishing games. None more obvious than the game on Wednesday when they lost, or when they played to a draw against Inter Miami. No Panthers this weekend. It's the bye week, so thankfully we don't have to watch them lose another game. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be happy to sit down and watch a week of football without having to worry about how do the Panthers look? Is Bryce Young going to be good? Are we ever going to win a game? But there's some other good games to look forward to. Some of the 1 o'clock games that I'm going to be paying attention to. Lions and Ravens. The Lions, a team that really are playoff contenders this year. I don't think many people saw it coming. I did, but they're contenders at 5-1. And then the Ravens, who I picked in the preseason to be our Super Bowl champions. That is a 1 o'clock game in Baltimore. The Sunday night game this week is going to be a good one as we have Dolphins at Eagles. That's going to be the Sunday night game. 2 5-1 teams going at it. That one, man. The Dolphins have one of the highest flying offenses in the league, and the Eagles, well, they are fresh off an appearance in the Super Bowl. Tough loss in the season last week. Remember last week, both of our undefeated teams lost, so there are no more undefeated teams in the NFL. But we are going to be keeping an eye around the rest of the league. Let's talk about what happened yesterday real quick, because we had a team in the Panthers division playing as the Jaguars ended up beating the Saints in New Orleans by a final score of 31-24. The Jaguars scoring late in that one to steal a win and go to 5-2 on the season, while the Saints dropped to 3-4. And as much as I want to say that a Saints loss helps the Panthers, it does. It's just the fact that they're so far behind at this point in the season, it doesn't make too much sense to say, okay, yeah, hey, Panthers, your in-division opponents are losing. Maybe you win a few games and we'll see what happens. But I just don't think that that's in the cards this year. It's going to be a growing year. As we talked about it, they have a chance to win a game or 2 or 3 even on the other side of this bye week, because the opponents aren't as good. The game I'm circling for the Panthers to get their first win of the season, well, that game is against the Bears in a couple of weeks, because if they lose to the Bears, the season, I'm not going to say the season's a loss, but I am going to say that there needs to be some serious reevaluating the talent on the team, the coaching staff, and basically everything, how things are run in general, because when you lose to the Bears, it's pretty embarrassing considering they're one of the worst teams in the league. And as much as we hate to admit this, that's what other teams say about the Panthers, because the Panthers have the worst record in the league this year, and it's not looking positive as far as being competitive in the future for the playoffs. One more thing to look forward to in the weekend, we have NASCAR from Homestead Miami Speedway. That is the second race in the round of 8. Only 2 races to go before we have our championship 4. And Kyle Larson has already punched his ticket with a win last week at Las Vegas. It was a close one between him and Christopher Bell at the end, but Kyle Larson was able to come away with that one. And interesting enough, he wins that race after making probably the save of the year earlier in the race. So without that, Christopher Bell might have won that race and be the driver to have locked his way into the playoffs already, or into the Final Four, I should say. But that race is going to be on Sunday during NFL football, and I know you're going to be happy to hear this. The race will be broadcast back on WSIC this week. We do not have Panthers to give you, so we're going to give you the NASCAR race instead from Homestead. Homestead's one of my favorite tracks on the schedule. They That's a track that has multiple grooves ever since the repave, and the groove that you want to be able to run is up at the top. We've talked about how Tyler Reddick and his 1.5-mile program for his team hasn't been the best, but he's just so good at running the high line at these tracks. You can't count him out as far as a victory and punching his way into the playoffs or into the Final Four. When you look at the standings, if he wins on Sunday, if Tyler Reddick or Ryan Blaney or even Chris Buescher get a win over the weekend, that's going to push that cut line a little bit lower. And the driver right now in fourth is Denny Hamlin. So if a driver outside that top 4 wins and pushes it to 2 playoff spots that you have to get in on points, Denny Hamlin, as of right now, is that driver that's going to be out. We're getting awfully close to game time here. We have South Iredell ready to run through their banner and take the field. We're coming up on a break. We're going to stay with you here for another South Iredell take the field. I don't know how well Lake only a few minutes. Vikings. Stay with us through the break. We're out of the table.
Keep it right here. There's more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg on the way from the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Folks, you know Randy Marion sells vehicles the King of Price way, but did you know our service department? We service vehicles the King of Price way. We sell tires, we sell brakes, we sell batteries, we sell the maintenance. We help you keep your vehicle on the road safe, ready to drive. Whatever the season is, Randy Marion service departments have you covered. Come see us today because, folks, again, you know we sell the King of Price way and we do service the King of Price way.
King of Price, RandyMarionStatesville.com.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Still a 30% chance of showers as you head through your evening. Other than that, mostly cloudy skies with a low temperature overnight around 46 degrees. Saturday should be a much nicer day. We're looking at sunny skies and your high temperature will get up near 70 degrees. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
In life, we plan for many important things. Weddings, our children's education, retirement. A celebration of life is really no different. Planning and paying for your life celebration in advance will give you and your family valuable peace of mind. We'll help you take care of every detail with professionalism and compassion. We're Bunch Johnson Funeral Home. Find us at DignityMemorial.com.
The Statesville Family YMCA reminds you that older adults and those with chronic health conditions don't need to feel they must accept impaired balance and limited mobility. Build strength, improve balance, and gain confidence in your mobility through the Moving for Better Balance program. For questions and additional information, email C. Mullins at ymcanwnc.org. Fall is here, and Little Shavers has the supplies you need. Wheat straw, pine needle, grass seed, pelletized line, landscape edging, and railroad cross ties. Got a deck that needs staining? Little Shavers has PPG paints and stains at prices you can afford. Fall is a great time to replace your furnace filters at Little Shavers. Get the products you need at reasonable prices from Little Shavers, 3301.
Okay, you there, Joe?
I got you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, yes.
All right. Well, we're going to see what happens here. I'm going to try to reconnect. And if I do get reconnected, I'll be able to take control of the board again.
Yeah.
But I just don't know when I'm going to be back. So can you stay on the phone with me until about 3 seconds before and then just fade my Simeon out as like a cue for me?
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
All right.
Okay, can you hear Simeon? Can you hear it?
Yes, I can hear Simeon.
Okay, gotcha.
With a Panthers update after this.
Okay, actually, as soon as the Panther update is over with, I'll stay on the phone with you. That's fine. Panther update, then the scoreboard rejoin.
Bank of America's digital tools are so impressive.
I got it.
Panthers fans just can't stop
it's
banking.
reconnecting right now.
Okay.
Hopefully I'll be back.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I kind of.
Oh my goodness.
I felt good about it. You know, you made it to 30 minutes anyway. So.
It was going good, man. The game just kicked off. They're playing.
Yeah, I know.
Work in along with self-scouting.
I'm glad you said you were going to take a break for silence because I was heating my food, and when I come back, I did, then I heard the national anthem. I was like, okay, I know what's going on now. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to do that. Absolutely, you did the right thing there.
It's a great opportunity.
Okay, yeah, I did not want to talk through that. I didn't. Nobody told me how to handle that, so
yeah,
I just did what I thought was the best thing to do.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That's rule of thumb. I mean, you definitely want to just back out and let the national anthem play. Yes.
This is a journey
okay.
together that you
I'm starting to open stuff back up here.
Okay. Okay, you got about 45 seconds.
Passes on the season, throwing for 967 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 4.
Okay, you got about 35 seconds or so.
He's looking forward to working more directly with Thomas Brown.
I'm really excited. Coach Reich had talked to us throughout the year, and this was something that even in training camp something that he said was we were always working towards that. We didn't necessarily have a time
connected. That's the weird thing.
Knew that this was coming in. I'm super excited. I'm excited for the future, and I'm really excited.
Panthers next play at home versus.
Okay, well, you just want to go with the phone then because you're coming up on it, Joe.
Okay.
The Scoreboard with Joe Berg continues now on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Okay, Joe.
All right, we are back here on the Scoreboard, 105.9 100.7 FM. I am sorry to everybody watching the stream and listening. I probably sound a little different if we could have Simeon turned down over there. Tim, I hope you can hear me. That'd be awesome. Awesome. Here we go. We are back. I am trying to reconnect myself. I'm in the process of doing that, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. So I'm going to join you through the cell phone for the rest of this game. As this game has gotten underway here, we have a 2nd and 10 for the Vikings, but we have a player injured right now on the field for Lake Norman as he gets helped up off the field and heads back to his sideline. Right now we're at 0-0, about 8.5 to go in the first quarter here as the Vikings take on the Wildcats. Let's go ahead and continue chatting about what's going on in sports this weekend because you can never have too many updates on that. As I talked about, NASCAR coming up this weekend. You have some events going on right now with qualifying. And then Saturday will be the Xfinity race and Sunday the Cup race, so look forward to that. As the players have retaken the field here, it's Lake Norman with the ball. And this team is 8-0, and we expect them to be running the football just like they are right now. I wish I could show you guys everything going on and tell you about what's going on, but unfortunately, the internet's not wanting to cooperate with us today. We're trying things out here at the station. This was a fun attempt, and unfortunately the internet. But we did have a backup plan in place, which is the good news. And Tim over at the radio station, thank you to him for helping out, get the board all set up as I continue to try to reconnect things over here. It's been an interesting day because boy, oh boy, I was going good over here. We were rocking, plenty of stuff going on. As Lake Norman breaks the play down to one. No, they rule it a touchdown. Lake Norman just scored a touchdown here as it's now 6-0 Wildcats. They take the lead, and this team is lethal. Actually, as I just spoke about the team being big on running the football, they throw a touchdown there. Couldn't really see or tell who it was on the receiving end of that, but we do have a touchdown on the board. Lake Norman taking the lead early in this one, 6-0 with the point after pending. They're lining up to kick it through the uprights, and we'll see how this one goes. And that one is up and through. We have a 7-0 game here early in the first quarter. 7.5 to go. The Vikings fall down 7-0 here as they're about to get the ball back. I'm trying, guys. I know. I'm sorry that you lost the video. If you're a video watcher here at WSIC, the least I could do is get back on the airwaves for you through the radio. That way you can hear my wonderful voice, hear the background, hear the atmosphere that's going on over here. It's a wonderful atmosphere. The Lake Norman fans are getting pretty rowdy. A lot of them did make the travel here to South Iredell. Not that far of a travel, though, for them. So you would expect for a lot of people to show up. We're about to go back to kickoff here as the Vikings will receive the ball. I'm wondering if we're going to see a shootout here. That was pretty quick for Lake Norman to trot down the field and put up points. I'm hoping this offense for South Iredell can match and give us a pretty good game. It'd be a tough one to come to senior night, get a rough start in. You don't want to go 3 and out here. You want to at least move the ball downfield, maybe get field goal range, kick a field goal, get some points on the board. Because like I said, this Lake Norman offense, they are lethal. They will bury you, and they bury you fast as that running game will get going. The passing game is working right now for them too, as there are some horns going off in the student section with the Lake Norman band. Kick return right now is out to, let's call it about the 25-yard line or so. So the Vikings, now they'll get their first chance at an offensive possession and look to match the touchdown put up by Lake Norman on their first drive of the game. The Vikings are a team that have a pretty good, pretty solid offense. They utilize the run, utilize the pass, so expect for a healthy dose of both as we get through the rest of this game. We're getting close to our next break here. It's going to be our final break of the day as I continue here to try to get back on the airways on a good microphone. That way you don't have to listen to my voice through the cell phone because, I can only imagine how it sounds right now if you are listening on the radio. It's a phone interview. We do them all the time here, but this one's a little bit different because I'm broadcasting live as the host of the show from the cell phone. A little bit different. I like being out here in the atmosphere, though. It's different out of our natural habitat, Studio A from Statesville. You get to watch some football. You, the listeners, get to hear the atmosphere, hear the pads hit, and I'm pretty close to field level here. I'm right on the track surrounding the field. So, man, every time there's a hit on this side of the field, I can hear it. And that pop does not get any quieter. The older you get, I can tell you that. It is high school. They still hit pretty hard as the Vikings offense gets to a third down here. It looks like we're going to have 3rd and 8, 6.5 to go in the first quarter. I'm working on getting everything rebooted here. I'm close. We're going to be back on the headset, I promise, but it's going to take me a minute to get everything back up and running. But in the meantime, we're going to continue to have a chat through the cell phone. The Vikings here on a third down come out with a 4 wide receiver set, it looks like. Shotgun formation, trying to get the first down. And like I said, a 3 and out on the first possession of the game, not what you want to see. Vikings run the ball here on 3rd and 5. Maybe they'll get it. I don't have the best angle on it. We'll see if those chains move or if we have a 4th down. It looks like it is going to be 4th down and about a yard or two. The punt team coming out onto the field for South Iredell. So like I hoped that they wouldn't have happened to them, they did have it happen to them. The 3 and out to start the game. Lake Norman's going to get the ball right back. And boy, that offense might march down and make this a 14-point game pretty quickly. Oh, and it's a fake. We got a fake punt. Was the first down picked up? I don't think so. It looks like Lake Norman is celebrating 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Oh, boy, an early gutsy call. 5.5 to go in the first. And, oh, my goodness, we have a fake punt on their side of the field. So now Lake Norman, with a short field, look to make this a 14-point game. I don't know. That was a pretty gutsy call by the head coach of South Iredell, doing a fake punt on 4th and 1 from their side of the field on the 4th play of the game. First play for Lake Norman here, it's a run, keeper from the quarterback, and it's close to a first down, maybe a first down. Not quite sure. We'll see what they say. 2nd and short, 2nd and 1 yard. This ground game that Lake Norman has. We've been talking about it over the past few weeks with Lake Norman in regards to their running game. There's a team in the area, though, that has a little bit better of a running game than Lake Norman. That would be Pine Lake. They have the number 1 rusher in the state. And hold on just 1 second. I think I'm back.
There's more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg on the way on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Want to enjoy a night of magic? Eric Jones, a worldwide award-winning magician, is coming to King Center for the Arts Saturday, October 28th. Buy your tickets before they sell out. canearts.org. Eric Jones, the magician, Saturday, October 28th. canearts.org. Carolina Balloon Fest is this weekend. Day passes to watch the event start at $15. Want to take off in a hot air balloon from Statesville? You can book your ride today. For more info, including ride pricing, visit CarolinaBalloonFest.com. The Carolina Balloon Fest, this weekend near Statesville Regional Airport. CarolinaBalloonFest.com. Pumpkin picking at Kerrigan Farms. Experience the pumpkin patch at Kerrigan Farms by booking your experience now at KerriganFarms.com. KerriganFarms.com for a pumpkin picking adventure. Santa's coming to town. Schedule your time to take pictures of Santa at Birkdale Village. Spots are limited and must.
Okay, here we go. Yo, Joe.
Santa will be at Birkdale between
Hello.
November 19th and Christmas Eve. Appointments.
Hello.
Yeah, okay, I got to pull the left computer up, and now I can hear you. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good?
Yes.
All right. I don't know if my video is on stream. I don't even know if I'm streaming anymore.
Okay. I mean, I can see you on this screen, right?
Well, I got Simeon here.
WSIC News.
Yeah.
How am I looking on time?
Let's see. You got about a minute and a half. Okay, are you good, Joe? Okay, can you hear me, Joe? Okay, you got about 45 seconds, Joe.
We're back. All right.
Number 2, Trey Seacrest on the
Weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Rev up your dreams with a bite from Tilly Harley-Davidson. Whether you're new to Harley or a seasoned pro, Tilly has the bike for you. Come experience the freedom of the ride. Feel the thrill of the road and the thunder that only a Harley can provide. Stop by Tilly Harley-Davidson of Statesville or go to tillyhd.com.
Talk sports with Joe Berg. Call 844-STUDIO-4. It's the Scoreboard on the new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
All right, we are back here. I think I'm back streaming with you. I'm not really sure. We're trying our best over here. I'm doing what I can, but thank you for joining the Scoreboard here today. I am very happy that I got this headset back working. We have a score of 14-0 right now. Lake Norman put it in the end zone while we were away. So South Iredell getting the ball back. And like I said, I thought it was going to be tough for South Iredell to hold on with a short field on defense. But Lake Norman showing that rushing attack works, putting it in the end zone again, and they go early into a lead here. 14-0, still 2 minutes left in the first quarter of this game. I'm hoping South Iredell has something to do here because, man, it'll be nice and pretty to have a good game, especially for South Iredell, being that it's senior night for these kids. You always want to have a good showing on that night because that's when you get recognized as a graduating senior. You're in the last few games of your high school football career, and it's just good to have a good showing on your final home game. Like I said, South Iredell, they will not be playing home again this year. I don't believe they're going to be making the playoffs. So this is their final game at South Iredell of the season. And those seniors, I'm sure, are going to be a little bit upset and sad, definitely feeling some type of way after this final game here at home for them. But nonetheless, we continue on here on the Scoreboard. Boy, it was a tense moment there. I was calling into the studio. It was phones on and Tim in there. Tim, I'd like to give you a big thank you for calling me and helping run the board while my signal went out over here. It only went out for about 5 minutes, but I needed some time to get reconnected. I don't even have my chair with me right now. I'm standing back up as we have South Iredell, a pitch play, it looks like. Oh, and a good one-on-one tackle. This is happening right in front of me. So I wish I could show you guys the game, but I've gotten strikes from Facebook and YouTube for showing you those kind of things. So we're going to just play it safe, and I'm going to stay on this side of the screen. That way you guys can see me, and I'll tell you what's going out on the field. We have a 2nd and long here for South Iredell. Boy, that offense really needs to put something together if they're going to make this a game. I don't know if they're going to be able to come back from a 21-0 deficit. Oh, and a big hit on the quarterback there as he goes down, sacked back behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and long for South Iredell. They are just going backwards on this drive. No fake punt is going to be in order this time. I can tell you that much. But we'll see. You got to dial up a pretty good pass play here, and we'll see what happens. But South Iredell looking to make this a little bit of a game as we only got a minute left in the first quarter. It's been a quick one, but that's because of the nature of these two teams. A lot of running going on here, especially when Lake Norman has the ball. They did have that passing touchdown for their first score, But other than that, they've been keeping it on the ground, using the offense that they know, as the third down pass falls incomplete for South Iredell. Another 3 and out as the punt team makes their way onto the field. Boy, I would be surprised if we saw a punt or a fake punt from South Iredell here, that's for sure. Because, well, it looks like it's about 4th and 12. And if you know anything about football and you keep up with the sport, 12 yards is a long way to go. And you don't want to go for it on a 4th and 12 backed up almost in your own end zone. Here we go. Punt about to take place. We'll see how Lake Norman wants to play this on the other side. Ew, it was almost blocked. Holy moly. That was a close one. Lake Norman almost got in there on the block. And Lake Norman now has the ball up 14-0 with 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. Long way to go in this one, but I really hope South Iredell is able to make this a game. Maybe the defense can step up, get a turnover, get a short field for their offense, and they can start finding ways to click. But until then, South Iredell is going to be on their heels. I know there's a lot of other football games going on in the area. I don't want to get off the air here today without at least shouting out those schools. So number 1, North Iredell is playing, West Iredell is playing, Statesville High School is playing, and we have Mooresville, the other undefeated team, also playing. Those are your local Statesville-ish area teams. As a deep pass from Lake Norman on down the sideline. Big chunk play from Lake Norman there. They are in the red zone already. Steps out of bounds. Man, this offense, I thought they were going to run the ball a lot, but it looks like they want to air it out a little bit and score some points quick. Only 23 seconds left in the first. They still have a chance to put up 7 more before we go to the first break. And 21-0 in the first is not where you wanted to be, not what you thought this game would turn into if you're South Iredell. We got a first down and 10 inside the red zone for Lake Norman. I think they're probably going to keep the ball on the ground for most of the rest of this drive. They do it on first down as a flag comes in. Ooh, they might have to put the ball in the air if that is a holding, because they will be backed up pretty far. But I want to thank you guys again for joining me here. We're trying our best. I know I went off stream for a minute, but I never went off the radio. We did everything we could to bring you this show from South Iredell. It's a lot of fun. I'm hoping we're able to do another game here next week. Who knows? Maybe the Lake Norman Mooresville possible undefeated matchup of 2 Titans going at it. That'd be a fun one to see. Maybe something a little more local to Statesville too. We haven't made that decision yet. We'll see what we have going on throughout the week. But it was a holding on Lake Norman, so they are now backed up 1st and 20 outside of the red zone. I wouldn't be surprised if you see them put the ball in the air here. Long way to go. Well, as you can hear, right behind me, actually, as I am positioned right next to the scoreboard. Here, I'll actually show you guys the scoreboard. I don't know if it's a pretty picture or not for you, but 14-0 at the end of the first here. Lake Norman putting a pounding on South Iredell, not the way South Iredell wanted this game to go, especially with how early it is here today. I thought at least a quarter and a half, 2 quarters before this game might have gotten out of hand, because when you look at this matchup on paper, it wasn't the most competitive game. Lake Norman has been rolling through their opponents pretty much all season. And like I said about South Iredell as we started this show, they started the year okay, won their first game, lost a couple, and then won again. So they sat at 2-2, and then they got into conference play. And boy, they just haven't had a solid game since then, it seems like. Losing 4 in a row, another conference game here. As the second quarter starts, they find themselves down 14-0. Without the football. Lake Norman on a 1st and 20 here. Like I said, they got pushed back on that holding call. So they'll be looking to get those yards back and continue marching down the field. South Iredell, this is their chance. If they want to get a stop, force either a field goal or a punt, this is going to be the time to do it. So we'll see if the defense can step up here and make a play as Lake Norman keeps the ball on the ground on first down. Not a big gain at all, but just trying to get some yards back before they get to that third down where they'll probably end up having to put the ball in the air, but that is still yet to be seen as we continue to see how Lake Norman and how South Iredell want to play these games. 2nd and 12 for Lake Norman here. Looks like they're going to spread it out. Probably start thinking about putting the ball in the air. No, not this time. They keep it on the ground. Couple of broken tackles. Cut back to the other side of the field. And a big hit down inside the 20. It's now going to be 3rd and long. This is where you see Lake Norman probably abandon that run game that they've had going and look to get the ball in the air for a first down. I'm not going to be able to bring you the entire game here today. We're going to be off air in about a minute or so. But 14-0 Lake Norman as they take on South Iredell here at the South Iredell Vikings home stadium on senior night. 3rd down and 11 for the Vikings. Hopefully they're able to get a quick stop here, force a field goal, get the ball back, and get something going on offense. Because if they can't get the stop here, well, it's going to be tough sledding for the rest of the game. Looks like on the 3rd down, they did go back to the air, and that ball falling harmlessly for an incompletion. Field goal team trotting their way out for Lake Norman. They're going to go ahead and kick that field goal, make it a 17-0 game if it goes through. I don't know if I'll be able to tell you whether or not that goes through because, well, we're in the final minute of the show here, and it's Friday. So thank you all for rocking it with me this week. This has been fun. We tried. We got 3 segments solid on stream through the headset, and the field goal is good, so there you go. We were able to bring that to you before I head off the air today. It's Friday. Everybody enjoy the weekend. Watch some football, watch some soccer, watch some NASCAR, support your local high schools. You know WSIC does, as we are here on location, coming to you from South Iredell High School as the Vikings take on the Wildcats. It's been a fun one, everybody, but I'm out of here for the day. Have a good one, and I will talk to you on Monday.
The new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC, Statesville, Mooresville, North Charlotte.
Hey, everyone. I don't know if you can still hear me on stream, but hey, this has been fun. I'm going to head off air, even on the stream today. We're going to go ahead and watch some high school football, watch this game, and have some fun in the process. I'm looking at some comments here. Boy, somebody was sitting on their phone, it looks like, and sent a very interesting comment on the Facebook. So that's a funny one. But thanks for rocking with me today. I'm trying my best to get off screen, but it's a little bit weird here today. I'm out of here now. I found it. Have a good